Hey, I'm Kate from the Small Things blog. I posted on the blog's fan page if you had any just kind of general hair questions, what would they be? And after like 146 comments, I was like, well, I think I'll do a FAQ video and kind of skim and make sure I'm picking out some of the most frequently asked questions or ones that I think would be informative for almost anybody. So let's start with the first one. Victoria asked, how often should you wash your hair? And this is in a way a loaded question because for some reason washing hair has become like a pride issue for some people, and here's the deal. It is okay to wash your hair every day if you need to. So you're not a terrible person if you wash your hair every day. If your hair is really oily or really greasy, or you're someone like me and use a lot of product, it's kind of okay to wash your hair every day. Use conditioner every day and use a nourishing or gentle shampoo so you're not doing excessive kind of scrubbing of your hair. That's kind of the whole deal, is if you wash your hair too often, you're going to end up drying out your scalp and sort of drying out your hair as well. So if you can wait a day before your hair gets excessively oily or your scalp gets very oily, that's okay because it's kind of giving your hair some natural nourishment. So if you need to wash your hair every day, do it. Don't be ashamed of it. I have friends that have competitions with each other to see how long they can go without washing. You don't have to be one of those people. If you can go 5 days, great, do it. I think that's great. It's good for your hair. It's great for color because you're not doing any extra like cleaning off of the hair shaft. So, but don't think you're a terrible person if you have to wash your hair every day. If you do wash your hair every day, I wash my hair every day, so you're not alone. The second question is, how can you make your hair grow faster? You really kind of can't. I'm sorry. But there are a lot of things you can do to help your hair grow faster. One of them is to get regular trims. And I know some of you are probably like, yeah. Get regular trims, then my hair won't grow because you're gonna keep cutting it off and you guys just want more money, you guys being the hairstylists. So no, I'm gonna grow my hair out for 12 months and then I'm gonna need a trim. Except your trim is gonna be this much because you'll have that much damage on your hair. So it'll take off all of the 12 months, all in one shot, I promise. So regular trims, they really do prevent your ends from splitting up and therefore not needing to be cut off. So regular trims is the best thing that you can do for growing your hair out. And once you find a stylist that actually listens to you, and when you say, I'd like you to trim just the ends off or just the, well, be careful if you're saying just the dead ends because sometimes the dead ends are this long, sometimes the dead ends are that long. So be clear with him or her and say, I'm really trying to grow my hair out. If you could just cut off like the split ends or just dust the ends off. That's a phrase that I use. I'm not sure where I picked that up. But just kind of barely the tip to take enough off for it to be a fresh cut, but not remove a lot of length. So there isn't really a way you can make your hair grow faster, but there are ways that the growing out process won't be as brutal and it'll be more effective in the long run. So, next question. Holly asks, how long should you shampoo your hair? Like in minutes. This is funny. I never really think about this. And I don't know if it really, I mean, it matters to a degree, but there's a point at which if you've been shampooing for like 20 minutes, it's time to stop. Like I know it can feel really relaxing, but I'm not sure if it's really taking off anymore, like excess oil or product buildup or anything, so yeah. I'd say like a minute if you're in a rush, and don't like scrub and scrape your scalp. If you can try to avoid using your nails, that will prevent your scalp from feeling like it's extra dry and then producing more oil and your hair's greasier and then you have to wash it more and then you have more oil because you're washing, you know, the whole deal. So I'd say like a minute. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. And as long as you're getting your hair clean and creating enough sort of suds to get the stuff off of your hair is kind of all you need. Conditioner, on the other hand, the longer that's on your hair, the better, to a degree. What I would do is shampoo your hair for like a minute, rinse it out, and then put conditioner on. And the amount of product to use is up to you. It's up to your stylist informing you on what your products are. I know Rusk products you can add a lot of water to when it's like sitting in your hand and sort of maximize them. There are other products that maybe that wouldn't really work all that well, but with conditioner, after I rinse out my shampoo, I put conditioner on and kind of spread my fingers like this and rake through my hair to sort of comb it through. You can also use a really wide tooth comb, not a brush or not a fine tooth comb, and let that sit in there for as long as the rest of your shower is. So the last thing you do before you get out is kind of rinse the conditioner out. And you also don't want to rinse your conditioner out until your hair is like squeaky clean, because that in a way will kind of neglect or negate the process of conditioning your hair. Kind of look at it as like a conditioner that you rinse off like the majority of it, but leave on like one extra little tiny bit, if that's making sense. So it's not like your hair feels like it doesn't have anything on it. You should be able to rake through your hair with your fingers after the shower. So if you can't, you might need to leave a little bit more conditioner on your hair. Okay, Amanda asked, if you're in a rush and you don't have time to blow dry your hair, is there a cute way to style it wet after you get out of the shower? No, not really. I'm sorry. You could like braid it, or put it. I wouldn't recommend putting it in a ponytail because it's going to be a really tight ponytail. I would say maybe if you're in a rush and you know you don't have time to blow dry, skip washing your hair and invest in a good dry shampoo and maybe wear your hair up dry. But yeah, sorry. I wish I had an answer for you, I really do. Kim asks, what is the best home hair coloring option? Well, there's none. Don't ever color your hair at home, is my advice. It's way too risky. I know a lot of you may think it's just a way for us to control, you know, money and making sure people are in the salon, but really and truly, I promise you, home hair color is not created the same way that professional hair color is, and you can see the difference. And I would never recommend it in any circumstances whatsoever. I don't care if you're white gray and you have $2. Do not buy, and that's all you have, do not buy home hair. Just embrace the gray, because at least your hair will look good. It's just too questionable. It doesn't, the thing about having a professional do your hair is they can evaluate what the status of your hair is before you start the service. So if I come in with hair this color and I say to my stylist, I really want to be brunette, I really like chocolate brown, I think it would look fantastic on my ghostly pale skin. And if she said yes, I would maybe question her abilities as a stylist. And then she would look at my hair and say, okay, it's bleached kind of like to a crazy amount, like it's pretty blonde. And we would need to fill in so many colors in order to create like a pretty base to then put chocolate on top of it. Home hair color doesn't know this. It just assumes, let's say they're starting like, you know, wherever. I don't know, it just guesses. And then it sort of makes up, as it's coloring your hair, it pretends to know where to go. And anyway, they just don't. It's not worth it. And inevitably, there will be some kind of disaster with the color or the quality of your hair post-home hair color. You're going to have to go to a salon and get it fixed. So save your money, maybe opt out of coloring your hair, but just don't do anything at home. It's my best advice. Stacy asked, what is a good temp and speed for blow drying your hair? And the best temperature is medium to low. I would almost never recommend doing hot. I only do hot occasionally if I'm using the cool shot on my dryer as well. So if I just need a little bit more heat to maybe lift the crown section, but I always hit it with the cool shot sort of intermittently as I'm drying so it doesn't get too hot. Don't blow dry your hair on hot the whole way through. It's too hot. You're going to do a lot of damage to your hair and it isn't necessary. It really doesn't shave off more time than if you were to dry it on medium. And speed, whatever. I mean, the faster the dryer is, the quicker your hair will dry. And frankly, speed, I think, is more important than temperature because it's the speed of the air is going to kind of go through your hair faster. Anyway, this is like too scientific. But yeah, so not hot, like ever. If you can avoid hot, your hair will thank you. Okay, the last question, I know I saw this in the mix, but I didn't get a chance to write down the name, is how often do you use a deep conditioner? This is really kind of a difficult question just to answer because it really depends on what is going on with your hair. If you're perfectly healthy, like you don't color your hair, you don't do a lot of heat damage, you don't use a lot of hairspray or any products that's going to work on your hair, you could probably get away with doing a deep conditioner like twice a year. Unless you love it and you can do it, I mean, it's not bad for your hair. So if you have hair that's excessively colored and you use a lot of product and heat, right here, like once or twice a month minimum, max like, I think once a week would end up being a little bit too much for me, but I average, when I remember, twice a month. And it's really kind of something that you can treat in a way like your regular conditioner. Like you don't have to stay home and deep condition your hair unless you're trying to get out of a date or some commitment that you have. And then don't show them this video because I just said you don't have to do that. But just put it on in the shower. The steam of the shower is going to help open up the cuticle part of your hair and those products will penetrate a little bit deeper. So that's just follow the directions. You know, if it says to leave it in for 15 minutes, leave it in for 15 minutes. If you do 20, whatever. If you do 20 hours, that's like way too long. So if you leave it in for 1 minute, kind of just wasted your money. So they really are formulated different than regular conditioners, so treat them that way, but just shampoo, rinse your hair, throw that deep conditioner on, maybe use a little bit more than you would typically use as far as conditioner amount, and let it sit there, and your hair will feel great. So it depends, really, is the ultimate answer, and kind of talk to your stylist because they know your hair and see what conditioners they recommend. If you need a lot of protein, there's deep conditioners with protein. If you need softening, there's deep conditioners with softening. There's, I mean, pretty much anything available to you. So talk to your stylist with that one. Okay, so those are all the questions that I was able to get through today. If you liked this video or it was helpful at all to you, you can comment either on my blog post or underneath this video on YouTube and let me know what you thought about it, and that'll kind of direct me to know whether or not I should do it again, or if you want more questions answered, or if you want more specifics. Specifics is kind of a hard thing because it's just me and this little tripod here, but I don't really, so I'm not looking at like your hair or feeling it or knowing like your lifestyle and how much time you're going to actually put into your hair. But sort of these general questions I think anyone would be interested to know. So do let me know if you liked this video. If you have any more questions, be sure to check my frequently asked questions page on thesmallthingsblog.com, or if you want to see hair tutorials, go to my hair tutorials tab. You've got like 50 plus down there, so you can be occupied for several days. So thanks for watching.